So as I was talking about, whenever there are places of worships, there had been variety of images. Okay, there had been variety of skillfully carved stones of various models, bronze or silver cast, terracotta designs. So all these colorful scenarios were also there. Okay, so in modern sets, what happens? These arts are preserved and promoted through the efforts of government has taken it up, and it has been providing occupation avenues including entrepreneurship. Now you see worldly painting of Maharashtra. It is like, it rounds that worldly paintings are there. Now puppetry craft, again this is basically from Rajasthan that we have. Now there is a rich traditional occupation. There are various occupations: agriculture, fishing, weaving, visual arts. So many are there. Okay. Now, what happened is work of arts are gradually losing away because of the modern context. Okay. Now, leaving the artisans in mere source of income on one of the hand, and gradually erosion of aesthetic appreciation. So that aesthetic appreciation is no more there. Now illiteracy, socio-economic backwardness, slow progress, all these things becomes a constraint. Okay, now there is a shrinking of forest that has taken place. The forest has reduced because woods are being taken up for the crops. Depletion of resources. Now, general environment degradation, all these are the problems here. Now, there are many challenges, tremendous challenges, and indicate an urgent need of revival and sustaining of indigenous knowledge. The knowledge also needs to be protected. It also needs to be taken care of. Now, there are areas where inventions are required. Are design innovations, preservation, refinement strategies, use of eco-friendly raw materials, packaging them. Okay, the whole crafts will get spoiled otherwise. Also, it is very important for them to protect whatever they had done, their ideas, by intellectual property rights. Intellectual property right. So there is a protection of intellectual property right. So there is a tremendous scope and potential for careers now within this area. Now efforts and initiatives will go a long way, and government of India is also making efforts for upgrading this people who had been working for this craftsmen and all of them. Okay, so the need of the hour and the challenge confronting Indian society is to maintain the diversity without hierarchy or caste based work. So there is no caste. Now everyone can do the work, but there has to be good effort and research, but no hierarchy. The next phase of this chapter is work, age and gender. How work is differentiated based on age and gender. Now, age and sex of members of any workforce influence the dynamics of personal and professional lives. And both of them are from the perspective of the individual and also for the society and nation. It is very important that the age and sex both needs to be taken care of. Health and development of children and women, so that is also at stake, because forced labor, it is not suitable for physiological and psychological development of any person. What is a gender issue in relation to work? Now basically we have two sexes. One is male and one is female. Okay, men and women. Now there is sex which is men or women. Okay, now men and women, they're biologically different. Okay, they're biologically different, they're separate. Now, the point is social discrimination is of gender. A man is different from a woman, it is by their sex. So, Indian Supreme Court, they have considered this transgender as transsexual. So, they are even given the third form of sex, that is transsexual. Okay. Now, the terms sex and gender indicate the differentiation from biological to social and cultural perspective. Now, the term sex and gender are often, they are, used interchangeably. Now, sex is, herein you will see, sex is a biological categorization, man and woman. Okay, based on the genetics, reproductive organs, similar things. But gender is the social identity. It is a social identity. When I talk about male, it is basically I'm talking about boys or men, and female I'm talking about girls and women. So gender is social identity, whereas sex is biological identity. Any person who is having XX is a female, as a girl, and XY is a male. That is chromosomal combination that has taken place. Now, when I say masculine and feminine, so when I tell masculine, that is social foundation. These are masculine jobs and these are feminine jobs. These are masculine duties and these are feminine duties. All those are social foundations that have been there. In every society, social and cultural practices determine how various genders are expected to behave. How girls are expected to look down and speak, be very subtle, be very, calm, and boys should be, very spontaneous, and all those things. So, it has been categorized. Women have to sit at home and work. Boys will go out and earn the livelihood. So, those are gender discriminations that have taken place, but not discrimination based on sex. Okay. So, the members of the society or community are expected to perform their roles in a particular way as demanded by the social and cultural traditions. So, there are various norms that are to be followed in normal conditions or expected behaviors. Although the norms are never written anywhere, it is not given in any book. Okay, so it is always said gender is socially constructed. Okay, gender is socially constructed. Any deviation from the normal and expected becomes unconventional. So there comes a fight. There comes some kind of challenges that one has to face. However, with time, behaviors are evolving, different behaviors are evolving. Continuity there's a change in continuity. So the age-old assigned roles as breadwinners for men and homemakers for women are in transition. That is, it's all gone. Now we have got men working at home and women going out and earning their bread. So that is also there. Now in rural India, women are intensively and extensively involved in agriculture and animal husbandry. Whereas in urban areas, women are involved in construction activities or employed in domestic labor. So, in many families, it is women are the only sole bearers or sole earners. Only they are earning and they are looking after the family. So, that taboo is no more there. That women are to work at home and men are to go out and work for their bread. So it was even considered women will be powerless and all those, and now we have empowering women, and we have this people like Mary Kom and XYZ who have shown their strength. Now the next is, it is very important to say that when I talk about empowering of the women, it is not that giving them a job. Women cannot be empowered until the work they do at home is valued and considered equivalent to a paid work. Your mother at home, when she is cooking or she is looking after the family, it is equivalent to a paid work. So there is an empowerment. The work performed by women as homemakers, they are not housewives. Nowadays we do not call them as housewife, but we tell them as homemakers. Okay. Now there is a saying, money saved is money earned. So you do not have someone cooking for you, so your mother is cooking for you, so that is the money saved, is obviously the money earned by you. Otherwise you would have to pay for a person who is coming and cooking and doing your domestic works. Women participation in workforce outside the home has helped emancipate the woman as well as improve the family resources. So the family also has increased. Okay, the family earning has increased as the women of the family are also going out and working. Now, what are the issues and concerns related to the women at work? What are the problems? Opportunity of participation by women in the labor market have declined. They have been marginalized due to the need of skilled workers. There is requirement of skilled workers. So it is very important to safeguard the interests of the women. Training facilities to develop skills needed. The primary earning member are considered to be men, and women earning are considered to be supplementary. So okay, a woman working at the house is a supplementary income. Prime member is a man. Okay, now there are some other concerns of women like stress and adverse effects on health issues, security, safety at workplace without gender discriminations. So every time you are a woman, you will not be able to do this. Maternity benefits is another thing that needs to be considered. Social support for child care, so that also needs to be considered. Now constitutional rights acts and the state initiatives, what are they? Now the Constitution of India, it guarantees both men and women equal rights to work in every walk of life, equal opportunities. Okay, so all those things, and there is no discrimination on caste, creed, color, race and sex. Now Indian Constitution also empowers the state to make special provisions for women and children. That there is an act. Okay, the act which safeguard constitutional rights for women, which is Factories Act of 1948. Okay, Factories Act of 1948. Then also we have Plantation Labor Act 1951. Okay, Plantation Labor Act 1951 and the Mines Act 1952. All this protect the women in the industrial sector. And the Employees State Insurance Act, ESI Act, and Maternity Benefits Act 1961. Okay, so these are the different acts that protects the women at work. Article 16(1) of Constitution of India guarantees equal opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to the employment and appointment. Besides this Section 48 of Factories Act, it also states that creche should be maintained if more than 30 women are employed in an industry. Okay, if there is more than 30 women those are working in the industry, then there should be a creche. Those creches are areas where children are taken care about. Children below 6 years should be looked after in creche, which will be maintained by the industry itself. Now, there are many initiatives that has been taken to improve the condition of women in employment. Women cells were created by Ministry of Labour to look after the women workers. Equal Remuneration Act. There is an Equal Remuneration Act for equal wages for the same kind of work, equal pay. There is also National Plan of Action for Women. National Plan of Action, it is taken up by the Department of Social Welfare and implement the Equal Remuneration Act. Now, a working woman or a group, on women's employment was also constituted by Planning Commission. So they also have taken care of women's opportunities. So they will have equal opportunities. So there are a lot of laws, amendments have been taking place. A steer community to build the data based on women works, particularly in rural areas, was formed by Planning Commission. Now, we had seen various paradigm. There is a huge paradigm shift on the ways women programs were initiated. Schools were opened. Opportunities for women to earn, to become economically independent was there. There were sectors in which women had achieved a lot. So the attitude and approaches have to change and ensure dramatical transformation in the way gender issues related to work are approached in the society. There are various institutions like Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, KGBV. This is a scheme under Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, SSA. And this Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, this is for bringing the girl dropouts or never enrolled females from rural, remote, disadvantaged section. So under this section, the females can study. All the girls enrolled in KGBV study the bridge course for 6 months, 1 year for preparing them for the entry level. The entry level in KGBV for these girls is class 6. They will enter into class 6. The right to education is also there, which is recently passed. Now there are various women entrepreneurs also, like Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, Biocon Managing Director. Fine. So this is what we had in the chapter. Next part is child labor and children works, that I will be doing in the next video.